Hello, Frugal Force. Once again, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty for another episode of my road rage, but this time I'm actually walking, so it's walking rage. I'm just out taking a walk. Every morning I like to do a walk, and then later on in the afternoon when I get home from work, I hit the exercise bike. Gotta keep in decent shape, right? So anyway, my point is on this video is I want to talk about how Mark Waid is an excellent advertiser for Jawbreakers. He must really secretly love Richard Meyer, because as much as he talked about him and promoted him, he did nothing but gain and give him more elevation and more agency, if you will, and more money. He's brought more attention than ever before. Now, there is a lot of speculation he got in trouble with CB Cebulski. There is no proof to that. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk about too. There is no proof to verify that. I don't want to jump to that conclusion, because if anybody knows the history of Mark Waid, he's notoriously known for spurging out and going nuts, saying silly things on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and then disappearing and making it go away and trying to wipe it out, because evidently Mark Waid doesn't realize pretty much once you put it on the internet, it's there forever. You're not really hiding any proof anymore, especially when we have people now that are watching to see what people do in this industry, and they're screen capping it right away because they want to make sure people know and shed some light on what's really going on in this industry. These gatekeepers, these Mark Waids, it's amazing. I got laughed at a little bit, I think, by, of course, for a tweet that I put up, to Gail Simone. Well, anyway, I put up a response to Gail Simone, or actually, no, I didn't put a response to Gail Simone. I posted somebody else, and Gail Simone responded to it, to the fact that I think Mark Waid and others are actually afraid of Richard C. Meyer, and, because they've been telling him pretty much for so long to put up or shut up, and he did, and it was successful. And, of course, she responds, oh, he's not afraid. He's been helping people in the street. No. Let's make this clear. He is afraid. If not, he would ignore this person. He would not be going after him. He has never done anything. Well, actually done, you're right on one thing, Gail. He has helped Richard Meyer because he helped promote his book consistently. So there you go. There's one tip to your hat to you. He has helped promote that way, but he did it unintentionally. There's a lot of rumors and things from my inside sources. Well, I love saying that, my inside sources tell me there's some reasons for Mark Waid's help in the industry, and that's more of him helping himself, but that's a different story, and I don't have any way I can show that and prove it other than I have insiders that tell me certain things, and I don't want to give them away, so I'm not going to mention that any further. But he's done everything he can to block it and done nothing but promote it. And that has continued to help this Jawbreakers. He has a long history. These people love to block and be the gatekeepers, and they've absolutely been failing now. Now, they did stop him from publication from Nordic Press, so you could call that a win, sure. But we tend to find that when people get blocked by one thing, it only energizes them more until they break. And I don't see him breaking, because every time they energize him more, he becomes more successful. And this is causing more light to be shed on the industry. A lot more. So, Mark Waid, secretly, I think, loves Richard Meyer, or he's so ignorant of his own actions, which is probably the truth of it. He has no self-awareness whatsoever, that he's doing nothing but helping his cause. Now, another thing I want to talk about is CB Cebulski for a minute. I have, mentioned give the guy time, because there was contracts already in the works and things. And who knows, maybe he did pull Mark Waid off. That might be a step. But let alone, one has to wonder, is he really doing enough? And I tend to think no. Granted, he probably does deserve a little more time, but his time has been here, and he's done things during his time to make me shake my head and make that answer. For example, the Max Bemis. When he was asked about the Max Bemis tweets and the response to that, he completely let Max off the hook. That statement, you can watch and check up videos on that. CB Cebulski's statement on Max Bemis. He held no feet to the fire on that one. That makes me lose a lot of respect for his control. It's not like Max Bemis was raking in dollars for Marvel. I mean, come on, his books aren't selling that much. He's pretty much toasted it himself. What was a good direction of a book that could have got a lot of positivity, his mouth tends to kill. What can I say? So I'm losing hope steadily with CB. You know, I'm not saying he's as bad as what we had previously at Marvel with Axel, but he's not really showing me a lot of hope either. That's my thoughts anyway. Do you think I'm still being unfair on CB, or do you think, you know, he's had enough time? It's time to start holding his feet to the fire, I think. That's my thoughts on it anyway. So ultimately, that's it. This crew of Let's Stop Diversity in Comics has done nothing but promote him. And then there was that whole store deal with the comic shop that was broken into. And I love how the shop owner, she just says, oh, well, you know, with no proof whatsoever, she blames it on Richard Meyer, or not necessarily him directly, well, it's off of him, supposedly his supporters. Yeah, but without a shred of proof, which once again makes me scratch my head. And here's why. I would love to see how much money that store's making when they showed the video that it was stocked with SJW comics. So you know they are not flying off the shelves. My guess is that store is on hard times. My guess is, hey, if I break my own window, now granted, I'm completely speculating here, by the way. There's no proof to this either. If I break my own window, claim my register was then robbed too, I get some insurance money. Hold on, and I get free marketing from, you know, television news. Because I tend to think that might be the case, because anybody knows business well, you don't leave money in the register at the end of the night. Okay? You don't. I would say if the thief was smart, they would have probably stolen some books that were more valuable than a couple quarters in the cash register, right? But then again, if you looked at the shelves from the scenes they showed us on the video, there really wasn't anything worth taking much anyway. It was mainly, you know, SJW Central, which means, once again, not flying off the shelves. So I think there's a little bit more to it. Now, granted there, I am being 100% speculative there. There is no validity guaranteed, no facts there. And my point is this. There's much facts as what I just said to that storekeeper's statement as well. There was no proof whatsoever showing that who did it or from a particular group for any vandalism purposes. It could have been coincidence. Could have been. I tend to think there might have been some maliciousness. I mean, who would rob a comic shop? There shouldn't be any money there. I mean, shoot, it's a comic shop, but you never know. Sometimes people are desperate and not always the smartest. But that's henceforth why I tend to think she did it to herself for the money. But that's my thoughts. What do you think? Do you think that store was really vandalized? Or do you think that she really did it herself to get attention for her failing store that's loaded with SJW propaganda? It's funny. You know, they mentioned they don't want to sell things that have propaganda, but yet during the interview, she's talking about pushing her own particular ideology. Completely ignorant of self-awareness this group is, especially when the book they're blocking has been sight unseen. They have not got to read any of it, and supposedly, if holds true, there is no political propaganda whatsoever. Nothing but a good old-fashioned superhero or ex-superhero, which are now come back, romp, fight the bad guy kind of action adventure. Well, anyway, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for listening, especially for my windedness there, because I'm walking at a very fast pace. It's pretty good exercise. And until next time, keep it frugal.